Hello, friends of Brooklyn. Hello, great city of Brooklyn. It's the 6th edition of Brooklyn 2.0. I'm your host, Michael Palcisco, and it's May. We're going to take a trip down memory lane. The Brooklyn Historical Society Museum. It's about memories and memorials in the great month of May. I'm looking for that historian, Barb Stepic. Hello, Barb. I'm Mike Palcisco.
How are you, Mike?
I'm doing well. It's great to be here, and it's great to be with you. Tell me, when was this museum established?
The Historical Society was established in 1970. We moved into the 1929 house in 1973, and the city put the addition on for us in 1983 because we've accumulated so much stuff, and we're still in trouble. We just don't have room for much more. And these are some of the interesting
Is this the Brooklyn band uniform, Barb?
Yes, it is.
Can you tell me a little bit about this display?
Okay, first of all, this is a picture of looking from the front of the old Brooklyn original brick building, which is going to be torn down. You're looking south. This is Bidoff Road. There's nothing across the...
Who's this young man in this picture dressed like that as a lady?
That is Mayor John M. Coyne.
Mayor Coyne.
Yes.
Is that the Mr. Marquardt, where Marquardt Park was named after Mr. Marquardt?
Yes. Yes, Coach Hank.
Wow.
And the school bell here came from Mayor Coyne. It was from Evergreen School on...
Wow. And now what's this right here? Is this a service garage? And where was this located?
Okay, that started here. This was Poplar Grove School, which was on Ridge Road, maybe across from McDonald's. It is now Brock Playground, and then it ended up being the Lang Service Garage, which was part of the Fry family.
Okay.
I believe it was his grandmother that was a Lang.
So everything in this great museum is from citizens of Brooklyn, and everything's from Brooklyn.
Most of it is has a connection to Brooklyn.
Like old Brooklyn, when it was Brooklyn Center, during that time period. Brooklyn was a lot bigger city.
Well, Brooklyn ran from Brook Park to the lake.
Okay.
And west 117th to the Cuyahoga River. That was all Brooklyn Township originally.
Okay.
It was founded in 1818. We became a village in 1927 and a city in 1950. There are no other dates.
I'm here with John Geralds, the historian for Elvis Presley at Brooklyn High School. John, were you at that concert?
Yes, I was.
And what year was that concert?
That was in October of '55.
Wow. Are these all artifacts from Elvis Presley or from Brooklyn High School?
Most of the things in here are just things that are out in public, buying them and bringing them in here. There's very few things that are originally from the program in '55, except for the flooring down here.
Would you say this is your most unique piece?
Probably so, yes.
Can you explain this piece to me here?
This is the stage floor. And they
that Elvis Presley was actually on?
Elvis Presley walked on, yes, yes. And they made it into a picture frame here for the anniversary back, what, in 1960, I guess it was.
Or is it October 20th, 1955?
55, yeah.
At Brooklyn High School. So this October, it'll be the 60th year anniversary of Elvis Presley at Brooklyn High School. What do you remember most about that concert, John?
Well, they made a movie there. There was a movie being made there, and they came there about a day or two before and did some photography of kids walking around the school and so forth and so on. And then when we had the Elvis Presley program, they had the movie projector or cameras, whatever you call it, in the auditorium.
Pat Boone was there?
Yeah, he was the headliner.
And Bill Haley, he sang Rock Around the Clock. What did Elvis sing that day? What were some of the songs you remember?
I really couldn't tell you.
Okay.
He was not very well known. He became well known right after that.
Wow. Can you tell me a little about the history of the Brooklyn Airport?
Well, this is Mather Airport. We had two airports in the city of Brooklyn. This would have been where Brookridge School is now. Remember, my brother used to go, he knew Mather, and he would walk from Dennison Avenue over to visit Mather, and he said when they tore it down, there was a ravine there, and they took all the struts and everything and filled the ravine with it. This is Arlo Mather. He was a funeral director down on West 25th. This is the house, which is still standing. It was built in 1826, and it is the oldest standing house in Brooklyn.
It's still in Brooklyn.
Yes, it's right 2 away from Hurricane Alley.
Okay.
To the south. Now, on the other door over here, we have Brooklyn Airport.
So this is Brooklyn Airport over here.
Right, and that was run by Anthony Walzak.
Okay, Mr. Walzak.
Correct. And that is where Ridge Park Square is presently.
So this is Ridge Park Square right here, basically,
Yes.
where it says Brooklyn Airport.
Yes.
Wow.
And in here are some of the artifacts. This was the off of his helicopter. He was the first licensed helicopter pilot in the state of Ohio.
This is awesome. I am in the Brooklyn Historical Library, and there's a lot of history here. I see yearbooks, I see graduating classes. Barb, can you tell me a little bit about this display here?
Well, these were originally on the walls of the school, and they go up to 1957. They were going to be gotten rid of, and John Fry saw them and rescued them for the Historical Society and paid to have this wall unit put in, and those have been here from the very beginning, 1973.
Now, what's your yearbooks range from, Barb? I see you have a collection of yearbooks from, is this all Brooklyn High School, or is it Rhodes?
Okay, starting with this lovely blue lid here, the first yearbook is the 1945, which is out on top.
The eaglet.
Yes, and we've tried to figure out where eaglet came from and heard all kinds of stories, but we have all of the Brooklyn yearbooks. I'll tell you one of the most interesting things, and we kind of keep it over here, is, gee, I'm not going to be able to get it out, but it's the 1927 minutes from the city of Brooklyn, where Brooklyn became a village.
Barb, who needs the internet? I heard in this museum that you have a collection of old newspapers. Can you explain your collection?
Well, first of all, John here clips the newspaper, so we have everything recent. I mean, that's our purpose, is to keep the history of the city of Brooklyn. We take pictures, we clip everything recent items so that future generations know what their history is. We have the Sun News, at that time it was the Brooklyn News, the Brooklyn Parma News, from what years?
1948 to 1961,
Wow.
bound. And they do, they're very important because people do ask questions, or we need to know some information, so we'll take one of the books out and just go back through it and do some checking, and it's very informative.
Do you get a lot of young people coming in here to see maybe like a relative from the past that they heard a story about?
When we have the third graders come in,
Okay.
they maybe their parents or their grandparents went to Brooklyn School, so they like to look in the yearbooks
Wow.
and then start laughing at what grandpa or grandma looked like back in 1975 or something like that. But
And what are your hours of operation?
It depends if you want a tour or not. We can do a tour at any time. We have work days on Tuesdays from starting maybe 9 o'clock until 2 or so. If somebody wants a special tour for a group, we will gladly come during the day, weekend, evenings. You just call the museum, call one of us, we'll set something up.
What's the phone number of the museum?
That's 216-749-2804.
Museum, and there's several volunteers that donate their time, and I'm here with Tom Heitz. Tom,
Hi.
It's great to be here. What type of research that you do here at the Brooklyn Historical Museum?
I basically work on the IT side. I do the archivist, where we electronically capture all our old photos, old documents.
Okay. Now, Tom, you know, when I was a kid, there was these stables in Brooklyn. Do you have a picture of the horse stable or the barn in Brooklyn?
I've got a picture over here This is right before they closed they'd actually closed down, and they actually burned down the barn and burned down the Clegg house to give the fire department practice.
Where's the Clegg house located, and what is presently there where the Clegg house would be?
Right now it's the Plain Dealer. That's where the Plain Dealer
Tiedemann.
On Tiedemann, right.
So that's where the stables were.
That's where the stables were, right.
Hi, Marlene.
Hi.
Hi, Janine. The Quilt Ladies. Barb, this is a beautiful quilt. What do you do with these quilts?
Well, we raffle 2 off a year, and that is part of the reasoning and funding the museum. Now, one of the ladies who's sitting over there behind the sewing machine, she put it together out of remnants that we had around, and everybody just loves this quilt. It doesn't have a name yet, but these ladies, we just put it on about 2-3 weeks ago, and it probably will be raffled maybe next year or the year before, but everybody just loves it, so probably sooner than later.
So every year you have a quilt raffle?
2. One in the spring in May, and the other usually at our sale, which is the end of September.
And I know the residents love. My mother talks about this all the time. And this is Shirley. Shirley, can you tell me about what Shirley's responsibilities are here?
Well, Shirley is putting the brochures together for the children that are coming from the 3rd grade in Brookridge. They receive one of those, and they receive also an 1874 map of Brooklyn.
Now, do you have these in your gift shop for sale?
Yeah, they will be in the gift shop. In September, the whole basement here is full. All the tables are full of items crafted by our ladies. And that's what they do when they come on Tuesdays.
What is Elaine making back here, Barb?
Well, first of all, Elaine is, when you were talking about Clegg Stables, she is, the Clegg Stables family is in her heritage, and she was one again that was at the Elvis concert. These are items that she is putting together, and the items will be here for our sale the end of September. And she has a embroidery sewing machine over here, and we'll give some of these out to the kids. She's done these on the machine.
I'm thinking Christmas time. Are these ornaments for a tree that you're making?
Yes, they are.
Can you tell me about some of these ornaments and just what the process is?
It's a quilted pine cone. Since we do quilting, this is called a quilted pine cone.
What is this device right here? A little before my time.
Oh, this is a rug loom, an old one, old sheets, and we cut them in 2-inch strips like this, and then we put them on shuttles.
I have had an unbelievable day here at the Brooklyn Historical Museum with all the wonderful volunteers, with Barb, the historian of historians. I saw how the ladies make the quilt. I was in the war room. I saw the really cool organ. It would look like an army organ. But this would not be possible if it wasn't for the great city council of the great city of Brooklyn and the mayor for their support of the Brooklyn Historical Museum. Barb, I have a gift for you, and I would like for you to put this in your museum. This is an official Brooklyn TV t-shirt, The Show, Brooklyn 2.0, with your host, Michael Palcisco, and I'd like to donate this to you, Barb.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You gotta
You're
sit
welcome.
down.
I'm sitting back down, Barb, because I need to do that tour. It was a great walking tour, and I'm sitting down. Barb, what do you have here? What's on? You're covering my bald spot, Barb. What's on my head there? What is that? Thank you, Brooklyn. Thank you, great city. Brooklyn 2.0. Barb Stepic. History, Brooklyn History, Historical Museum. Great city of Brooklyn, I've had a great tour.